The gym doors burst open with a metallic screech that cut through the squeak of sneakers like a gunshot. Jasper stood there, chest heaving, his flannel shirt untucked and soaked from the downpour outside, eyes scanning the court until they locked on me. "Nathan," he barked, voice cracking like thunder. "They're coming for you? Pack your shit and run." I froze mid-dribble, the basketball thudding forgotten to the polished hardwood, my heart slamming harder than it ever had during a full-court press. Practice had been brutal enough, coach riding us like we were freshmen again, but this? Jasper, my straight-as-an-arrow best friend since we were kids stealing bases in Little League, bursting into the University of Chicago's auxiliary gym on a Tuesday night? It wasn't just weird. It was apocalypse-level wrong. The whole team turned, stares boring into us like spotlights, and in that split second, I knew whatever bomb he just dropped was about to blow my world apart. We'd grown up in the shadow of the steel mills in Gary, Indiana. Two white kids from blue-collar families, bonded by scraped knees and shared dreams of escaping the Rust Belt grind. Jasper was the golden boy, quarterback in high school, now a mechanic at his dad's shop, straight edge with a girlfriend he'd proposed to last summer. Me? Nathan Hale, yeah, like the Patriot, curse of a history buff dad. I was the quiet one who traded football pads for basketball shorts and came out as gay my freshman year at UChicago. The team knew. They ribbed me about it, but it was the good kind, the kind that made you feel like family. Or so I'd thought. Jasper grabbed my arm, his grip ironclad, pulling me toward the bleachers as the coach blew his whistle. "Haile! What the hell is this circus?" Coach Ramirez bellowed, his Puerto Rican accent thick with that South Side edge. The guys, big, tattooed dudes from all over the Midwest, milled around, muttering. Marcus, our point guard with the killer crossover, shot me a look that said, "Your boy's trippin', Nate." "Not now, coach," I muttered, shaking Jasper off but following him anyway. We ducked behind the scorer's table, the smell of sweat and rubber burning my nose. "Jace, what the fuck? You look like you saw a ghost. Or drove through one. Your truck's probably underwater out there." He leaned in close, breath ragged, rain dripping from his hair onto my jersey. I was at O'Malley's with the crew after shift. Overheard Tommy and Derek talking shit. "Tommy, your fucking teammate Tommy, said he's got proof you're feeding plays to that scout from Northwestern. Said it to tank the team's season, get you blackballed. They're betting on us to lose the conference finals, Nate. Big money. And they're pinning it on you because," he trailed off, jaw clenching, "because I'm the gay kid who doesn't fit the bro code?" I finished, the words tasting like bile. Betrayal hit like a fast break to the gut. Tommy Whitaker, the lanky forward from Detroit who'd crashed on my couch after his grandma's funeral? We'd shared protein shakes and late-night talks about life beyond the grind. Derek, the enforcer with the fade and the perpetual scowl, who'd fist-bumped me after every win. This wasn't just a crisis. It was a knife in the ribs from the guys I'd bled for. Jasper's face twisted. Anger? Guilt. Something deeper I couldn't name. I didn't believe it for a second. But they're escalating. Tommy's got texts, fake ones probably, setting you up. Said if you don't take the fall, they'll out that thing with the assistant coach last semester. Twisted into something dirty. He meant the mentorship program, nothing more than extra drills, but in their twisted heads, fuel for the fire. The gym felt smaller, walls closing in like the old mills back home, where dreams went to rust. I'd fought for this spot. Scholarship kid clawing out of Gary, proving I belonged on a court full of straight jocks who slapped asses and hollered about girls. And Jasper? He'd always been my anchor, the one who showed up to my first Pride parade with a six-pack and zero judgment, even if he spent half the time dodging rainbow flags like they were tackles. Straight friend, yeah, but the kind who made you wonder where the line blurred. "Practice is over," coach announced, voice flat as Lake Michigan on a calm day. "Hit the showers. Hail my office. Now." The team filed out, but not before Tommy shot me a smirk that curdled my blood. Derek avoided my eyes, shoulders hunched like he carried the weight of his own lies. Jasper followed me to the tiny coach's office, a closet of a room stacked with scouting reports and faded March Madness posters. Ramirez slammed the door, crossing his arms over his barrel chest. "Talk. Your buddy here causes a scene like that? We're one loss from the bubble bursting on our season." I spilled it. All of it, Jasper filling in the gaps like we were calling an audible. Coach's face darkened, that old-school fire sparking in his eyes. He'd come up from the streets of Pilsen, built this program on grit and second chances. Betting ring? In my house. He paced, muttering Spanish curses. I've seen whispers. Guys flashing cash after games, but this? If it's true, we're done. NCAA sniffs that scholarships evaporate. And you hail framed? That's not just dirty. It's personal. Jasper slammed his fist on the desk, rattling a coffee mug. It's because of me too, isn't it? Tommy hates that we're tight. Always has since high school. Thinks it makes you, I don't know, less of a man or some bullshit. His voice broke on the last word, and for the first time I saw it, the crack in his armor. Jasper, who fixed engines with hands that could crush walnuts, who laughed off my crushes like they were inside jokes. Was there more? Or was I just desperate, projecting my own ache onto the one guy who'd never look at me that way? Coach nodded grimly. We need proof. Tonight. Or it's all over. He grabbed his keys. Jasper, you're not team, but you got balls showing up. Help us corner him. The rain hadn't let up, turning the campus into a blurred watercolor of brick and sodium lights. We piled into Coach's beat-up Impala. Me shotgun. Jasper in back like a reluctant ghost. Destination. Tommy's off-campus apartment in Hyde Park. A walk-up that reeked of cheap beer and unwashed ambition. Heart-pounding, I texted the group chat. Emergency team huddle. My place. 10 minutes. Lies, but it bought time. Jasper's knee bounced the whole drive, his silence heavier than the storm. Nate, he finally said. Low enough Coach couldn't hear over the wipers. If this goes south, couldn't lose you. Not to this crap. Not after everything. I twisted in my seat, meeting his eyes in the rearview. Blue as the Chicago River on a clear day, stormy now. Jace, you're the reason I didn't quit after the hate mail my sophomore year. You drove 6 hours with burgers and that stupid mixtape. Straight friend or not, you're my person. The words hung there, raw and unfiltered. The romantic in me whispering what if even as reality screamed never. We parked a block away, shadows in the downpour. Coach handed me his phone voice recorder app running. You two go in first. Play dumb. I'll circle back with backup if it blows. The stairwell smelled like mildew and regret. Tommy answered the door in boxers and a bull's tee, eyes bleary from whatever he'd been nursing. Nate? The fuck? Man? Practice ghosted early. Team thing? I lied, stepping inside. The place was a disaster. Pizza boxes, empty cans, Derek sprawled on the couch nursing a beer. Jasper hung back by the door, arms crossed, looking every bit the Milltown enforcer. Derek sat up, spotting Jasper. Who's the redneck? Your date. The room iced over. Tommy laughed, but it was forced, brittle. Chill de. That's Jasper, Nate's straight sidekick. The word dripped venom, and there it was. The betrayal laid bare. Not just the bets. It was me. The invisible line they'd drawn because I loved differently. Because Jasper crossed it without thinking. Jasper stepped forward, voice steel. Heard you two been busy. Talking smack at O'Malley's. Framing Nate for your side hustle. Derek bolted up, face paling. What they? Tommy lunged for his phone on the coffee table, but I was faster, years of drills kicking in. I snatched it, heart jackhammering, and scrolled. Texts to an unlisted number. Odds on our next game. Payouts. And worse, screenshots. Doctored ones of me with the scout timestamps faked to hell. You son of a bitch, I whispered, shoving the phone at Coach, who'd slipped in silent as a shadow. Sirens wailed outside. Not ours, but close enough to make it feel like fate. Derek cracked first, spilling it all. The ring started small, bookies from the old neighborhood, snowballed after a losing streak. Tommy? He targeted me because queers don't belong on the court. His words a poison I'd heard whispered in locker rooms from Gary to hear. Betrayal wasn't just financial. It was a gut punch to everything I'd built. Fists flew then, Jasper tackling Tommy before he could bolt, Coach pinning Derek with a forearm like a vice. Me? I stood there, rain mixing with tears on my face, the weight of it crashing down. The team I'd trusted, fractured. The friend I'd loved in silence, fighting for me like it was his own skin. Cops came quick, Coach's call, clean and by the book. Statements taken in the fluorescent hell of the station. the storm finally breaking into a hesitant dawn. Tommy and Derek in cuffs, seasons over before they started. The program? Under review, but coach swore he'd fight for us, for the kids like me who clawed their way in. Jasper and I ended up on a bench outside, city waking around us. Commuters hustling, a hot dog vendor firing up his cart. He slung an arm around my shoulders, casual as always, but his hand lingered, thumb tracing my collarbone in a way that wasn't brotherly. Nate, about what you said in the car. I held my breath, the romantic fool in me daring to hope. I'm not. I've always known you saw me different. And yeah, I'm straight, Lila's my world. But you're not just a friend. You're the guy who'd walk into fire for me. Last night, seeing them come at you, it hit me. If I lost that, I'd be hollow. He pulled back, eyes searching mine. We solved this together, yeah? Not just the crisis, the mess inside. No more lines. It wasn't the confession I dreamed of in fevered college nights. No dramatic kiss under stadium lights. But it was better, human, real, the kind of love that bends without breaking. Straight friend, sure, but the label faded against the truth. We were survivors, forged in rust and rain, unbreakable. The team rebuilt that spring, new blood, coach's fire speeches echoing like gospel. I played harder, loved quieter, found peace in the arc of a perfect three-pointer. Jasper, he showed at every home game, Lila cheering beside him, our trio a quiet revolution. Betrayal scarred, but it taught mercy. Forgive the fools, hold the faithful close. In America, where dreams rust and rebuild on the same streets, that's the real win. Not the buzzer beater, but the hand that pulls you up after the fall.